Hey everybody, Jeff Schneider here, and today we're going to learn how to play this really cool sounding progression. It goes like this. It's actually pretty easy when you break it down the way I'm going to break it down in this video. We're going to start with a basic major 7 chord. That's going to be our shape that we're going to build this progression with. So if we're in the key of C major and you build a basic C major 7 chord, this kind of a thing, that's going to be C, E, G, and B. That's the 1, 3, 5, and 7. Actually, if you look at my chord scale charts, you can see right in here our C major 7 chord. And on the left side, the numbers here represent the chord tones. So 1, 3, 5, and 7. If you go to the letters, you'll see the notes C, E, G, and B. Now this is going to be really helpful because we're going to take this shape and we're going to use this chart to help us find the other 7 chords within the key of C major. By the way, if you get these charts, they're free. You get them in all 12 keys, major and minor. If I can show you here, look at that. There's D flat major and then D major, but we're going to stay in C major for now. And we're going to take that shape, that C major 7 shape, and just move it up the scale. So that gives us D minor when we move it up starting on the D there, or E minor if we move it up starting on the E. So we're going to stop on the F major 7 there. This chord right here, this voicing, this shape, whatever you want to call it. We're going to play F major 7 in the right hand, and then instead of playing an F in the left hand, we're going to play a G. So this would be a basic F major 7 chord, but we're going to put G in the bottom there. Now this makes it a different chord. It's no longer F major 7. It's actually a chord called G13 sus. Now the sus is short for sus 4. So we're just going to press on here without getting too in the weeds. We have essentially an F major 7 chord with a G in the bass. This is how I learned the chord when I was starting out. I just remembered it by playing F major 7 over a G. It gives you this sound right here. Now, what we're going to do next is take the middle 2 notes of the voicing. So if we write out the voicing, F, A, C, and E, and remember, this is all over a G. So maybe I'll just move this up here, and we'll put a big line here, and then this is all over a G. What we're going to do is take the middle 2 notes, these 2 notes right here, and we're going to go down a half step for each of them. So C is going to go down to B, and A is going to go down to A flat. That's going to look like this, from here to here. We took the C down to B, the A goes down to A flat. The G is going to stay the same. So we're going to keep the G down here. It sounds like this when I put it all together. Beautiful, beautiful. So now what we're doing is we're going from, I said this before, a G13 sus chord, G13 sus. By the way, it's this E right here. That's the 13. The A, if you're wondering, is the 9, and the C is the sus 4. So I'll write 4 there. Maybe we'll put a 13 there and a 9. And then the F is the 7. G is the root in this case. We'll do R for root. And then when we go to this next voicing here, this one right here, that's a G13 with a flat 9. G13 flat 9. The E is still there on top. We didn't touch that, so that's going to be our 13. And then the B right in here, that's our 3rd. The A flat is the flat 9. We keep the F, that's our 7, and then the G in the bottom is still the root. So we go from a G13 sus to a G13 flat 9. And then from there, we're going to play this voicing. Now this is a C major 9 chord, but you can look at it a couple of different ways. And whichever way is easiest for you to understand, I say press on with that. And you can always learn another way of viewing the chord as you get more comfortable with the theory. But essentially what I'm playing here is a C in the left hand, and then in the right hand I'm playing E, G, B, and D. Now rather than just memorizing it as 4 notes, let's group it into a chord. What is this? This is an E minor 7 chord. If you go back to the chord scale chart, It's this right in here. We've got the 7th chord shape starting on the 3rd scale degree. The 3rd scale degree is E. That's why there's a number 3 right there. You can think of it as E minor 7, but another way to view it, I guess the more sort of theoretically correct way, would be as a C major 9. The D there is the 9. The B is the 7. The G is the 5. And the E is the 3rd. C is the root. So if you want to think of it as E minor 7 over C, that's fine, but technically it's a C major 9 chord. Whatever makes the most sense for you, the idea here is to be able to play this progression as quickly as possible. So let's review the whole progression. We've got that G13 sus, and remember, the other way to describe that chord is by thinking of it as F major 7 over G. That's our first chord. Then we go to G13 with the flat 9. And remember, to get that, you just lower the 2 notes in the middle of this voicing right here. So you go from the F, A, C, E, and you lower these 2 notes each a half step. So a B and a flat. And then finally, we end with C major 9, also known as an E minor 7 over a C. And again, that's going to be C, E, G, B, and D. You're just stacking thirds. And then if you want, you can take that C and put it down an octave. Altogether, it sounds like this. And you can play this voicing in any key you want. Just go to your chord scale charts. Again, you can download them for free. Let's say you want to play it in the key of D major. Let's go to D major here. It's the same thing. You learn that shape, that initial shape, the 1, 3, 5, 7. We're in the key of D major, remember. So we have some sharps. We have a C sharp in this key. We have an F sharp in this key. You take that shape though, and you move it up the scale. All I did right there was take this shape and I played it again, but starting on E. So you get E, G, B, and D. That gives you an E minor 7 chord. To get the 3 chord, that's F sharp minor 7, F sharp, A, C sharp, and E. The one that we want to focus on to start is going to be the 4 chord, right here, 4 chord, G major 7. It's a G, a B, a D, and an F sharp. By the way, one of the best ways to really learn a chord progression and internalize it fully is to play it in various keys, ideally all 12 keys. It helps you understand the theory on a deeper level. It gets it under your fingers much more quickly. So play the progression in multiple keys. Use the charts to help you get there. Again, you want to reach for that 4 chord first. In this case, it's going to be a G major 7. But we're going to put the 5 underneath. We're going to put the A underneath. And when I say 5, I'm talking about the 5th note in the scale. In this case, it's A. So that's how we get this A13 sus chord. Then do the same thing you did before. Lower those middle 2 notes down by a half step. That gives you that A13 flat 9. And then you go to your D major chord, D major 9 to be specific. And another way to look at that is F sharp minor 7, this chord right in here, and play that over the D. That gives you a D major 9 or F sharp minor 7 over D. Together it sounds like this. And if you want to get fancy, one extra little flavor you can add to this is by doing a grace note. Instead of just playing this A right here, you could do a grace note from the B to the C sharp, like so. B to C sharp. So you're actually leaving out the A altogether there to enhance the sound of that 7. And by 7, I mean C sharp is the 7 in the key of D major. So in the key of C, that would sound like this. It's a slight variation, but it adds some extra color. Remember to download these chord scale charts. They make it so much easier to play these chords and progressions in various keys. And as I said, that will help you internalize and learn these progressions on a much deeper level. So we'll leave it there. If you want to check out another video, you can click here and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.